Ahead on the fourth episode of the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll be joined with the head coach of the Tigers men's basketball team, Pat Skerry, and discuss his team's recent matchups against local Baltimore foes, Goucher, UMBC, and Coppin State. Later, we'll preview the Tigers' next game on the road as they take on the Hoyas of Georgetown. Get ready, the Tiger Basketball Report begins now. Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome to the Towson Sports Network studios for the fourth episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikis. The Tigers expand their winning streak to 7 straight after beating Goucher College before Thanksgiving 97-43, UMBC Sunday on the road 77-66, and Coppin State at CQ Arena 84-76. Joining us now with all the details of those ball games, the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. And Coach, congratulations. The Tigers off to their best start since the 1976-77 season, and obviously the best start in Division I history.
Well, we appreciate that, and hopefully that's the start of, many good things to come. Still early.
Let's go back to the Goucher game, a team that you had never played before. Towson had never played Goucher in their history, a Division III school, and a big game for them as they came into CQ Arena, and a big game for you guys because it was your first game of the year at home.
Yeah, we obviously want to play as many local teams as possible, and they're obviously a non-Division I school, and I thought we took care of business. But I thought we had good focus in doing it. Guys shared the ball, they defended and rebounded, and we needed to get a home game in before December, so it ended up working out well, and we played well that night.
So the Tigers defeat Goucher. Then a couple of days later, you have to go to UMBC. Now, going into that game, as we discussed last week, UMBC was shooting very, very poorly from the field as a team, below 35%. From three-point range, I think they were about 20%. So what happens? They come out at their gym, the Rack, and shoot 70% in the first half, and the Tigers find themselves down by 3. What were your thoughts in that first half and how your team was playing?
We were concerned going into the game because our 5th game in 9 days. We were worried about fatigue. They were ready to play, give them credit. Coach Thomas had them ready, and the kid Sparrow from Richmond really made some difficult shots early. But I thought our kids kind of did a good job of figuring some things out amongst themselves, and we really locked down in the second half. We did what we normally do. I mean, we held them to 24%, and we bludgeoned them on the backboards, and kind of able to pull away in the game fairly easily in the last 10 minutes. But it was hairy for a while, and road wins are hard to come by.
Now, if I recall, you cut practice short the day before because you felt like maybe fatigue was setting in.
I did. It's just a lot. Even though we won big against a non-1, you have shoot around and you prepare the same way, and guys' energy level is high, and we'd played 3 games in 3 days right before that, and but it's a product. The kids want to play the games, and we want them to play the max amount of games they're allowed to play. So sometimes you have to jam games in, and I think that helps you later on down the line for your conference tournament and postseason as well.
And then you fed them all turkey, and that makes you tired. So that helps too.
We had them over the house. We had a great Thanksgiving. It was a lot of fun. Kudos to my lovely wife Kristen and getting the job done. The guys were well fed.
So the second half at UMBC, you come out, you're down 5, and then you go on a run. You take the lead, and what has become a very serious weapon that other teams have to look at is for McGlynn at the free throw line when Towson has the lead in the last couple of minutes of the ball game. 4 was 13 of 13 from the foul line on Saturday afternoon against UMBC.
Yeah, he's clutch. In 4 we trust, all others pay cash, right? I mean, he's got tremendous focus and obviously a gift. His hand-eye coordination, his ability to put the ball in the basket, and he's doing a lot of things well in a lot of different areas right now. I'm happy to see him take that next step.
So the Tigers get that victory. Then we move on. You play Coppin State on Wednesday night. A different Coppin State team with a different coach, Michael Grant taking over for Fang Mitchell. They came into the game, according to the Sagarin ratings, as having played the toughest schedule in the country. They had lost at Oregon, they had lost at Illinois, they had lost at Notre Dame, had lost at Denver. They even went right up on NCAA.com about their long road trip. They covered, I think, 15,000 miles or something. they were a quirky team for you to play, and I'm sure when you were looking at the tape, you were trying to figure out what you could do with these guys.
Yeah, we knew coming in that their talent was better than what their results had yielded. They'd gotten a win on Monday and a quick turnaround, but just a dangerous team because they were shooting over 33s a game, and they press, and it's, we're not exactly built that way, and not that we can't get up and down score. We've scored a lot of points, but they get you out of character. Conversely, they had the worst field goal defense in the country, so you're trying to hop on you guys. Don't take quick contested jump shots. Let's get the ball inside. Let's get to the foul line. But you get a guy with a three-point shot. They shoot so many of them, and it seems like to their credit, eventually some of them are going to go down, but they go down in spurts, But as you and I talked about, for the first 17 minutes of the second half, we didn't give them a three, and that's where we really opened the game up.
Yeah, and again, you were only led by 5 at halftime. But much like it's been all season long, besides the Alabama game, you guys have dominated your opponents in the second half. I think you've now outscored them by 62 points. Take out that Alabama game, and it's over 90 points in the second half. And the score was not indicative because Coppin hit some late threes down the stretch, but you were up 23 with 5 minutes to go and had a very, very comfortable lead.
Yeah, I was happy with the second half. It really was. First half wasn't bad. The last about 80 seconds, we did a poor job. A quick three and a foul after missing 2 free throws, and we gave up a 3 and a half. So, but it's like anything. You got to play 40 minutes. We've got to close out halves and games the right way. And we talked to our guys late, Spiro, in the timeout. It's not, no disrespect to Coppin, we got to play the right game. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. Time, score, being efficient on both ends of the floor. So we're still learning in that area.
Tigers are young, but they're 7-1 to go with that youngness. We've come to our first break. Is youngness a word? We've come to our first break, but when we come back, we will dive into some individuals that contributed to the Tigers' victories here in the greater Baltimore area. Then later in the show, we'll take a look ahead to the Tigers' next matchup against Georgetown in what will be a key game. The Tiger Basketball Report will be back right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Wise Markets Ice Cream Plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome back to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. And Coach, you talked last week about how deep this team is. and each game somebody different steps up. You go against Goucher, and really everybody got involved in that ball game. The UMBC game, you had 4 with the 22 points. We talked about his 13 for 13 from the free throw line. Tomaj Parker Rivera had 9 rebounds in that ball game. And then you get to the Coppin game, and John Davis in the first half, the sophomore from Philadelphia, had 18 points and 8 rebounds in the first half of play. I know you've loved this kid from the day he stepped foot on campus, but tell us what it is about him that just makes him such a beast on the boards.
He's a savage. I mean that in the highest complimentary way possible. You know, in my 22 years of doing this, he practices as hard every day as any guy I've had. So it's no surprise. He's an unbelievable teammate, you know, and he's just got a toughness and a nose for the ball. He ain't the biggest guy. He just goes and gets it. And we're really proud of him. He's going to have a really big year. He's a key piece, and he's fun to watch.
And the best part is you still have him for 2 more years after this.
That's a very good point.
He seems like he has a very high basketball IQ.
He does. He's got a nose for the ball. He's a really good teammate. He just gets winning. One of the things that we really liked about John when we recruited him was that he had been a highly successful AAU program, team final on the Nike circuit out of Philly, and then Newman Goretti, one of the best Catholic League programs. So he'd always played with other really good players, but they always won, and he always played a lot. He just seems to understand winning, and I'm glad he's on our side.
Yeah, we had him on the post-game show after the victory against Coppin, and that's what he talked about, how much he loves this team, playing with his team. And he made a comment that kind of surprised me, because when you have the 2-time Conference Player of the Year and Jarrell Benjamin on the team, and then other guys like Marcus Damas and Mike Burwell, he said, you know, I think this team is more talented than last year's team, which won 25 games. That's got to make you feel good. I know you probably don't want to say anything, but it's got to make you feel good that he's that confident about his teammates.
No, I think it's good. I like last year's team a lot. I like this year's team a lot. You want to like all your teams. But you know, we're deeper than we've ever been, and we're relatively young. So you know, we like it, you know, we've said all along to our guys, we'll determine our success. You know, we've got a lot of work, a lot of room for growth ahead. But this group practices the best of any group we've had, and I think when you kind of practice, reading something with Stan Van Gundy the other day, so if your team practices the right way, you seem to figure out how to win games eventually. And
right.
I think that's what this group is doing, and we need to continue to do that.
Tomaj has had some great games on the board. His scoring has been kind of up and down, but he offers such a presence in the middle that other teams have to worry about.
Yeah, he's another guy who understands winning. You know, him and John are like 1st and 4th in the league right now in rebounding. You know, I say to them all the time, like, if you had to go, you know, we had 2 guys that were like Navy SEAL Team 6 guys. Those are the 2. You could send them into the mountains of Baghdad, and they'll come out. I mean, they're really tough. They practice hard. They practice hurt. They're good leaders. They're high character guys. I can't say enough good things about those 2.
Your team right now is 6th in the country in rebounding margin at I think 12.6 per ball game. Your team is 2nd in the nation in free throw attempts, and 3rd, I think, in the nation in free throws made. And then you've got 4 who is 6th in the country in free throw shooting percentage, only because 5 guys above him haven't missed one, but 4 has taken many more free throws than anybody that's even close to him on that list, 43 of 44. I mean, your team is starting to put up some impressive numbers.
Yeah, it's nice. We got to continue it. If we can do that, we'll be really good. And our field goal defense is like, you know, I think top 50 or 60 in the country. You know, we got to get our turnover percentage down. That's the key. We've got too many good players for it to be as high it is right now. And if we can do that, then we'll be in the mix. But we do preach, if you defend and rebound and get to the foul line, it's a winning formula. It's helped us the last 2 years with maybe different players, but the same type of formula.
Right.
And you know, we need to continue to do that moving forward. I think if we have that formula, then you have the next Damas, the next Guthrie, the next Benjamin. It's the next guy that kind of his chance to do his thing.
I remember after the game against Central Connecticut State, the first of 3 that you played up in Monmouth, you said on the post-game show, I've got to get Mike Morsell more playing time. You're starting to get him more playing time, and he's starting to produce for you, the freshman from Fort Washington.
He's going to be really good. Really good. I'm really excited about him. His ceiling's really high. We got to get him to be more vocal and continually bring his energy, but He's on the glass. He runs. He can really shoot. He's got a 7'2" reach. He guards. I'm excited. It's funny. John Davis said that walking out against UMBC. We were walking to the bus. He goes, "Coach, I tell you, the guy I think is going to be really good for us is Mike Morcell." And I'm like, I think you're right.
Well, he certainly played well and had a fall that had everybody, I think, a little nervous against Coppin, where it looked like maybe he fell on his arm, but he was fine. But you think it's a matter of him, along with Byron Hawkins and other freshmen, and Eddie Keith, that they're still getting their feet wet with college basketball? I know you don't like to use the excuse of freshmen, but there is a difference between playing in high school and playing in college.
It is. I step away from my wife lectured me this morning because I'm really high on those freshmen. I think they're going to be really, really good players for us. They are good players. They got a chance to help us win a ton of games. And she told me, you got to back off. It's the first time they've been maybe coached like this, intensely all the time, putting on a college uniform, game experience, game situations.
Being away from home.
Yeah, she said you got to have a little bit of perspective. I do, but I also have high expectations for those guys because I think they can be really good. And I always say if we tell a player if I'm not on you anymore, it means you don't matter. And I think you got to coach some of your better guys the hardest to be good.
Well, so far things have been good. The Tigers are 7-1, but possibly the toughest stretch of the season coming up over the next few ball games. Coming up on the other side of the break, we'll look ahead to the Tigers' road matchup against the Georgetown Hoyas and then to Philadelphia to take on the Temple Owls. Sit tight. The Tiger Basketball Report with Pat Scarry returns in just a few moments.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that. Yeah!
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome back to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm Spiro Marikas alongside the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry. And coach, your squad currently on a hot streak, winning 7 in a row. Now you've got possibly your toughest matchup of the year as you take on the Georgetown Hoyas, a team that has only lost a couple of ball games into some of the best teams in the country like Wisconsin. You played them a couple of years ago down at the Verizon Center. You're back this year for the BB&T Classic. You almost beat them down there. I'm sure Coach Thompson and the players that are still there are going to remember that they had quite a tussle with you guys.
Well, you talk about brand names in college basketball. Georgetown's clearly near the top of the list. So we have tremendous respect for them. We're honored to be part of the BB&T. I don't think we ever have been part of
No,
that.
and tell us, how did that come about that Towson got put into the BB&T?
Yeah, they approached us. Dan Shoemaker who does some stuff for ESPN with a lot of their exempt tournaments is now helping run the BB&T, and he approached us about it. And I felt like it was a great opportunity for our program. You want to be able to play marquee programs like Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
It's a national TV game, and we've got to play incredibly well. John Thompson's done. His dad obviously put the program on the map, and he's even accelerated it. So it's we have to play incredibly well, but we're pumped up for the chance. We're not going to go down there scared, but we understand how efficient we got to play to be in the game against a team like that.
And you got a couple of guys from Fort Washington that are close to D.C., and I'm sure they're pumped up to see this ball game.
Yeah, Verizon Center's a special place and a good game, and it's a heck of a challenge, but I think a good measuring stick for us. And we want to always play some tough non-conference games, help us get ready for the CAA, and there's not many that are tougher than Georgetown.
No, and the Hoyas traditionally play the same style that you do, which is crash the boards, make sure you're playing good defensively, and then on the offensive end, try to get to the foul line and win a game, as you like to say, rock fights. John Thompson's teams always love to play in those rock fights.
Yeah, he's a very good coach, extremely underrated defensively. They run their Princeton offense, but they give their guys freedom in it. The kid Smith Rivera, preseason play there in the Big East, is a nasty, nasty sniper. They've got incredible length at all their other positions, and they really recruited well. Their freshman class is outstanding. And then they get the kid Josh Smith in the middle, who is unbelievable hands and scoring ability. And then, I don't know if you've seen him, but he is a massive, massive human being. He knows how to play. He's got incredible smarts. So it's they can beat you in a lot of different ways. They should have beat Wisconsin. They beat Florida. So our young Tigers will need to be up for the challenge.
They sure will be, as Georgetown's only lost to Wisconsin and to Butler so far this season. When you start to practice, and here you go, you're going to go from playing Coppin, who plays a herky-jerky style that's very unorthodox, to a team like Georgetown that's going to be well-disciplined. What do you work on in practice over the next couple of days?
Yeah, we went through some offensive stuff today, some stuff we need to tweak. First and foremost, we've got to take care of the basketball on the road. We got to get good shots. And for us, it's even more important because of our ability to rebound and get to the foul line. You can't miss out on those opportunities.
Right.
And then we'll prepare like we normally will, and we're in depth onto what they're running and how they run it, and we try to prepare like we normally do, how to guard a lot of their actions. And they do have a lot of them. But we got to get back in transition and try to make them take tough 2-point shots. But they're capable of beating you in a lot of different ways. I'm really impressed with their length and their athleticism.
You opened up the season against Alabama, a power conference team, and now 7 games later, you're playing your next power conference team in Georgetown. Is this a measuring stick to see how far you've progressed in those 7 games since?
Yeah, yes and no. I think we hopefully we have improved. We did a lot of really poor things in Alabama, especially the last 20 minutes of the game, the last 15, really,
right.
Out of character. So hopefully we've made some strides in those areas. And you want to play well. You got to make shots. You got to get to the foul line. Some of those things aren't really controllable. So it's like you could go in there and play well, and it's one of those nights if you can't throw it in the ocean and they're hitting everything, then you got troubles. But there's other areas where, like, our communication, our execution offensively, we need to have made some strides in that area, and we'll find out on Sunday. Our guys are excited, and I'm excited to see where we're at. And like I said, it's a neat event when you think about where we were at a couple of years ago as a program, and I don't even know if they would have given us tickets to go to the games of the BB&T. That to be a part of it is a big thing for us.
And then the Tigers, after playing Georgetown on Wednesday, they will travel up to Philadelphia to take on the Temple Owls, a team that is going to have revenge on their minds because they came into CQ Arena last year and got beat. So Fran Dunphy, one of the great coaches in the country, his Owls are going to be ready for you.
Yeah, he's another Hall of Fame coach. Next couple guys are certainly going to win a lot more games than I'm ever going to win. So my players better be ready. And they're good. They're good. At Temple's great history under Coach Chaney, and Coach Dunphy's won a lot of games, and another team out of a power conference in the Americans. So good challenges for us. And once again, physical team, good defense. They take good shots. I think both these teams, one thing that really sticks out to me, the next two teams, they, to me, kind of really play the game the right way on both ends of the floor. And that's a credit to their coaches and their tradition.
And then, again, you've got a player from Philadelphia, John Davis. He'll be going home. Went home last year to play against Drexel, but now he's in a different role. I mean, he's a star player on this team, where last year he was a bit part of the Towson basketball team. He can go home, and his family and friends can see him. Hopefully, get another one of those 23-point, rebound ball games.
Well, we'll need those, and a lot of schools in Philly, passed on him for whatever reason, and we're happy they did.
Absolutely. So the Tigers taking on Georgetown and Temple. We will come back and wrap things up on the Tiger Basketball Report right after these words.
You know how fast you were going?
Yeah, about 55.
Where are you headed at such an appropriate speed?
Across the country to enhance the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network. How's it working for you?
Better than ever. How'd you do it?
Added cell sites, increased capacity.
And your point is?
So you can download music, games, and directions for the road when you need them.
Who's this guy?
Oh, that's Charlie.
You ever put pepper spray on your burrito? I like it spicy, but not like, ooh, spicy.
You always like this?
You have no idea.
AT&T, the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network.
Mariner Finance is a consumer finance company, so we offer personal loans.
Mariner Finance is a great place to work. It's a great thing for anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everybody in every office has an opportunity to achieve and grow.
Be your own leader. Be a leader amongst the fellow coworkers in your office.
The training and development that we do at Mariner Finance is one-on-one. Someone who has been there, done it, experienced it.
There is no better feeling.
Learn with us.
Grow with us.
Run with us.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that. Yeah!
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
Welcome back to the Tiger Basketball Report. And Coach, thanks for joining us. And before I tell you good luck against Georgetown, just remember, you finished last in your conference, they call you idiot. You finished last in medical school, they call you doctor.
I like that, Kemosabe. And don't forget, don't wait for your ship to come in, swim to it.
All right, that will do it. The Tigers will be taking on the Georgetown Hoyas in the Verizon Center on Sunday. Tip-off is at noon. On Fox Sports, you can follow the road action live and for free right here on TowsonTigers.com or on your smartphone or tablet or on CBS Sports Radio 1300. Coverage begins at 11:45 with the Coors Light countdown to tip-off. Then Wednesday, 7:45 for countdown to tip-off as the Tigers take on Temple. That's going to do it for this episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. For Pat Scarry, I'm Spiro Marikas. Have a great weekend and go Tigers.